Hello everyone! Well, if you can believe it, I have yet another event guide for yet another event in this absolute myriad of events that the game has recently given to us as we transitioned into the new year and class change 2 as well. So here we are again, we have the Slime Rampage event which has come back. The last Slime Rampage was 2 weeks ago, and the Slime Rampage has had a makeover and come back with a different slime. That's right, we now have the Rampaging Thunder King Slime, which is different from the slime we had 2 weeks ago. For those who don't know anything about the slime event system, it is a recurring event. It occurs every 2 weeks in addition to whatever other events are scheduled. So you can actually have multiple events going on simultaneously like we have now with the barbecue party system, the Dragon's Horde Lake system, and the Rampage system all happening simultaneously. Plus, don't even get me started on the guild batch purchase. We have 4 simultaneous events in the game right now, which is pretty crazy. So, when you click on the Rampage system, you enter this menu. Now, if you know everything about the first slime, you still have to understand the mechanics because yes, this fight has different mechanics. A lot of them are the same, but if you go in with the knowledge you have of the first slime and expect to have the same thing happen, you'll be quite surprised when you see your character taking damage and not understanding what you've done wrong. If you know absolutely nothing about the slime, don't worry, I'll go through the mechanics all over again so you fully understand how this system works. So the way the slime menu works is you get together with a party of 4 and attempt to deal as much damage as possible to the slime. And you can see here in the leaderboards the T617, T590, etc. This refers to how many times the party has just wiped out the boss's HP bar. So 617 means we've beaten the HP bar 617 times, and the more tiers that you clear through, the more party damage that you do, the more rewards you get. So you can see here, there's daily clear rewards that resets every day at reset, and the more you clear, you get these Rampage packs, which can contain an RNG amount of Stellarite and Rune characters, and lots of additional rewards like Star Epics, the skill summons, artifact energy, mount selection tokens, etc. So plenty of really great rewards, and most importantly, Stellarite. You can get Stellarite daily as well. In addition to that, you have this shared loot here. So as the strongest parties clear through the stages, they will unlock Stellarite for the entire server. So if your strongest party has cleared all the way through here, you will be able to claim this Stellarite. So it's a very nice system where the entire server benefits from the strongest parties clearing through. And if you do have your server clear through everything, it's 1,000 Stellarite from here, plus the daily additional 100 Stellarite that you can get from your daily clear, which is very easy, by the way. T120 is even free-to-play players will have no trouble getting this daily Stellarite. This is not Wales only, very easy to acquire. But for the rest of the rewards, it is going to be kind of tough to get all the way up to here. As you can see here, the rewards though kind of taper out, and most of the best rewards are front-loaded at the earlier stages here. So, with that all explained, and also forgot to mention, you have these Thunder approvals. As you collect Rampage Lucky Packs, you can get these cosmetics. You can see here avatar frame, a background, a medal, and an avatar as well. And every single day that goes on, the slime has the challenger damage buff that increases the damage it takes. It increases the damage you deal to the slime, so make sure you come back every day to challenge the slime again, not just for your daily rewards, but maybe to see if you can set a new record in the process. Now, with that all explained, let's quickly jump into the mechanics of the fight and explain what this boss does, and as well what the differences are from the first slime. So, the first mechanic this boss has is the Shockwave Headbutt, which you can see here. The slime headbutts the current target, dealing massive damage and applying Chain Lightning, which deals massive damage to the target's current position every 3 seconds, twice in total. So simply, your tank's going to take this headbutt. If you're a tank, you gotta pop your shield for this headbutt because it deals quite a lot of damage, and your healer should be prepared as well to heal you back up from that hit. And sometimes, depending on if you're maybe as you progress through the fight, you're going to have your tank in your DPS spec, then the healer might actually have to run barrier in order to protect the tank from this attack. So there's a couple ways to approach this as a party. Next up, you have the Jelly Berserk, which is a repeated ground smash dealing massive AoE damage and spawns lots of little slimes that have a chance to drop a chest when defeated. This is basically a big party-wide AoE damage which the healer should be prepared to deal with. If your tank is running full tank spec, they can also maybe do a group damage resist like Banner and the healer using Barrier, or just a very big heal depending on the level of power that your party is at. Next you have Magnetosphere, which is just taking damage over time. Now this is an important mechanic for those who don't know it. Life Bloom, up until now, this is more or less the same as the first slime, just to say, except the Headbutt is slightly different in that it has the added Chain Lightning effect, which the first slime did not have. Well, Life Bloom, again, the same as the first slime. If you're a healer, you should be standing in the wood sector, where you get bonus healing. You can see here, healing effect to the target with the lowest HP. Now, next up we have the main mechanics of this particular slime, and that is the Elemental Blessing, Elemental Ionization, and Ionization Formula system. So how does this work? The slime assigns an elemental combo to all targets and randomly removes one basic element, water, fire, or wood. If in the remaining sectors when the reset ends, if you're in the remaining elemental sector when the reset ends, you gain a stack of Elemental Blessing. And if you're in the wrong sector, you get a damage penalty from Elemental Shock, which also removes all your stack of Elemental Blessing. So what is Elemental Blessing? So Elemental Blessing is a effect that goes onto your character that deals burst damage at intervals, and the more Elemental Blessing stacks you have, the more damage it deals, up to 20 stacks. Plus, when you get the shock, you don't only take damage, it clears all your stacks of the blessing, which is not good because you need this to deal as much damage to the slime as possible. Now, the first slime had a similar mechanic, but it was not ionization and it used a different formula. So you can see here there's subtraction going on, there's all kinds of stuff going on. How does this work exactly? So the only way that I can show you this, because trust me, if I try to explain it, it's not going to make any sense. I have to show it in action, but I'm going to click here quickly and have the recipes show up on screen, and this is what we're going to have to keep in mind as the fight goes on. So let me open I have a video from the fight here, so I'm going to open this up and have the formulas overlaid. So as you can see from the formulas on the right hand side of the screen, it's going to show a elemental combo here and then subtract one of the symbols from it. So let's jump into the fight and see how that actually works in principle, because trust me, it's much easier to see it than to try to understand it from me just talking about it. So here we're fighting the fight and we're waiting, so eventually here you go. So I don't know if you can see this, but above the character's head you see one of the elemental combo system. In this case, it's this sort of hot springs looking event. And there's a fire symbol under the slime's HP bar. So what do we do in this situation? So the hot springs looking icon is a combo of water and fire. And so the slime shows the hot springs symbol and shows fire, which means it's subtracted fire from the hot springs icon, which means you need to go to water. In this case, I'm already standing in water, so I just stay there. So you can see here, I'm standing in water. The countdown goes down and it was correct. So this is how this slime works, and it's very different from the first slime. The way this works is the elemental combo system that showed above your character's head. You subtract the symbol that the slime shows under its HP bar and then move to the other symbol. So let's see that again when another elemental combo shows up here. Let's just wait a second. Here's the Headbutt, by the way. Now, we as a party didn't really treat the Headbutt with any real respect because we have high power, but I would recommend not to stay in the same zone as the tank when you're doing this if you're a lower power party. So here we go again. It's actually the same symbol again. There's the hot spring symbol. It's showing fire, which means you stay in water. So I'm gonna stay in water, and then the countdown finishes, and there you go. We got it right. So that's how this fight works. Now, the one thing that's super important, and this is extremely important to know, the first slime would show everyone having the same symbol. Everyone had to go to the same symbol, basically. This slime can show different symbols above different people's heads, so be very, very careful you don't fall for the trap of following your teammates. You have to be very careful because in the first slime you would just follow everyone around and run to the right section. In this one, you can have different symbols showing above everyone's heads, and then each player has to determine where they have to go. So you can see here I got pretty crazy RNG, and you can see people moving around. Someone over there had the campfire icon. I've got the hot springs icon again, so I stayed in water. And then eventually I'm going to have to move again. So I'm going to skip to the... So here we go. This is the first time that I've had to move to a different sector. So now you can see the bosses use this flower icon. The flower icon is a combination of water and grass. And the boss shows water subtracted to the combo, which means I have to run to the opposite symbol, grass. I think you should hopefully be understanding how this works. Now I'm going to say, okay, boom, I got that right. Now I'm going to skip ahead to the next elemental symbol. Bear with me. There. So what do we have now? We have hot springs. So here we have the hot spring symbol again, but this time it's showing water. So we know hot springs is made of water and fire. It's showing water subtracted from the combo, so we're going to run to fire. And this is how you deal with this fight system. You go to the non-selected slime element of that elemental combo. So if you see this if you see this campfire icon, which is comprised of the leaf and the fire, if you see the slime show the leaf icon, you run to fire. If you see the slime doing the fire icon, you run to leaf. If it's the hot spring symbol, if you see the hot springs and the slime shows water, you run to fire. If you see the hot springs icon and it shows fire, you run to water. And then if you see the flower, if you see the slime show the leaf, you run to water, and if you see water, you run to the leaf. And that's how this fight works. So you can see here, I'm going to run to water because it showed the flower. And I'm going to skip ahead just to the end of the fight here because at the end of the fight, the slime just goes crazy and starts spamming like nobody's business. So you can see a rapid fire of these elemental symbols. So here we have. Wait for it to happen. So here we have. This icon is grass and fire, so it went to grass. It shows water, go to fire. Okay, it shows grass, go to water. Shows fire, stay in water. Shows grass, stay in water. So that's how this fight works. You're going to the opposite subtracted symbol of the elemental combo. So that's how this works. Each of these combo symbols is comprised of two elements, and whatever the slime shows, you go to the other element. I hope I've made that clear, and I hope seeing the video in action, you understand how this fight works. It is a little more complicated than the previous slime, but once you get the hang of it, you'll just understand that when you see certain icons and the elemental symbol above the slime, you just go to the other symbol that comprises that elemental combo. So, there you have it. That is a guide to the new slime system, the Rampaging Thunder Slime. And yeah, hope you found this helpful. If you still have any more questions about how this slime works, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to help you out. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is uploaded. And that's it. Join the Discord if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.